Grab your popcorn, kick back and relax, because it's time for some more Carnage. So in today's video, we have something a little different. I'm going to be showing you 7 attacks done in Operation Dead End. This is a 25-man. So what happened was, I'm in this task force, and pretty much it's sort of like the Titanic. It's a sinking ship, everyone was leaving. Pretty much it was more that everyone was just sort of fed up with stuff that was going on. So they wanted to keep up Dead End. So what they did was they hired a bunch of hoppers. So they called in some hoppers, they got some really good ones, and inside of about 8 minutes of this operation starting, pretty much the whole operation was over. So Dead End in 7 attacks is what we're going to be showing today. I haven't seen any of these attacks yet. These are all new to me, so I thought I'd do this sort of live with you guys. For future reference, the record for Dead End, I believe, is actually 6 attacks, so this isn't any kind of a record. But it's still, I think it's still pretty cool. So, Tapia, from what I seen in chat, this was actually an easy Dead End. So the usual path for this is usually like next to these mortars and machine gun. You sort of go up there, like in between the mortar and the boom cannon, and then you sort of flare the core and then do accordingly. But it looks like he's going to be hitting from the left. I'm guessing between here. I'm guessing. So he's doing the long flare landing, just so he can sort of get a good group up. There's no heat on the beach, so he doesn't have to smoke. It looks like, I'm going to say less shocks from that side, but I really don't think so. I'm not, the laser, that's why. It's less shocks. It's less shocks from the bottom, I think. So he doesn't have a super tight walking path right now, but it's going to get tighter. And looks like he's going to do this with not a lot of smokes. So he's gonna group up. Oh, that's not very efficient. Okay. Well, they shouldn't spread out of the smoke. Wow, that's so much. That's very wasteful with GBE. 3 shocks. Yeah, see, if he had it went above, he would have had to shock that, this. That's still 3 though. That would have been out of range. He would have had to shock, probably critted that. So it would have been a little bit extra, but he fell a little short. What's the ice on this? 826. So it looks like it had a lot of health. He did do a lot of damage, to be fair. So where's the finish on Tapia? There it is. So we're going with another Zuka hit. Probably, no, you couldn't have farmed. I was going to say it might have been possible just to destroy some cells in the bottom here to kill it, but it looks like that would have had probably about 200,000 health thereabouts. Whoa, 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 whoa. So, gets the shocks off, really nice timing. Those mortars were going to do a lot of damage, so that's something the other guy didn't do. He didn't, I don't think he shocked all of them. I think he just shocked some of them, because I only seen 3 shocks unless I missed something. But he definitely dropped a lot more. Yeah, so really nice hit. So let's watch Waterloo. So pause. So this is one base I've never been very good at. For the simple reason that there's like a path that you can take, and like Brick gets ahead and like destroys some of the mines, and you take like this really weird path where you can avoid most of them. From memory, I think it's like top left of the core. So what's the health on this? 324, so this is actually a low health core. So GBEing around there, because that's probably where he's going to be parking his troops. Wow, and I'm trying to like remove off the screen there. Nope, I was right. It was above the core, because there's no reason why you'd artillery up there otherwise. So up there you should only require 3 shocks. 1 for the machine gun, 1 for this, and 1 for that. So it should be a 3 shock hit. Looks like he's going to be able to avoid these mines taking any damage from them. He does take some damage. Wow. I was going to say, if you don't do that... Ooh. Oh, that peak was nasty. I'm really surprised he didn't die from all that. Because, I mean, he was on the verge of death right there. You can see his flare too. I feel like this isn't the path that I've seen in the past. Some other people do. Because I've seen people take like a really tight path. Ooh. Rockets firing on him. Really nice attack. But I don't think I'd have the balls to try this. Like, if my troops were on the verge of death like that, I would be freaking out so bad. There's no way I would have pulled that off. And you seen that like nasty peak mid-base? To me, I would have been so scared that that shock launcher would have like tore me a new one. Like, ugh. But that guy has nerves of steel. So not the highest core health on the core, but a very nice hit without a doubt. So let's look at this one. So this one, I know how to tackle this. So when there's flamethrowers, usually above, you'll flare like near these mortars, and you do like a mortar wrap, and pretty much like it allows you to sit around one mortar, shock the rest, and then it's like pretty much just a couple of shocks. So you're shocking the rockets, and that's it really. So if the modern version of this hit is actually to use bullet, and then you taunt, which taunts these, so then there's no need to like do a mortar wrap or anything crazy like that. And then again, you're just shocking rockets, and bullet will actually take all the hits from all this, which reduces your shot cost. So he's farming some cells here just to get some extra energy for his hit. So we'll 4 times this, flaring near the beach, so that way, you know, his Zookas all form a nice tight path along the beach. Smoking where he needs to, just as he got in range of that rocket. So flaring there gives him not the tightest walking path ever, but still pretty good. I think if that first flare that he did in front of this cannon was a bit more to the left, it would have been a bit more of a tighter path. Potentially a little bit of a wasted flare. And he is using the old strat with with brick, sorry. I always get their 2 names mixed up. It's actually annoying. So he lost the delay there with the rockets. He peaked a little bit from his smoke. There's no flamethrowers above the mortars this time either in this version, so he got off kind of easy. So looks like he's doing a 4 shock hit, delaying the shocks by using critters, and he knows he's not going to survive if he didn't drop those critters, but he wound up getting the kill before the rockets fired. So it turns out he didn't need that last critter box, but still pretty good. Pretty neat little hit, even though he lost his delay up on the way, which most of the time is sort of like a big no-no. You will lose your attack otherwise. Judging by the losses on this guy's hit, I'm guessing this hit doesn't go too well. But I'm actually kind of surprised though. It doesn't look like there's much above the core that would have like warranted that sort of that sort of like scariness. There's that, and then this, and that's it. There's no other threats. So I'm honestly wondering what could have what could have done all this damage. The rockets don't have range on the beach, so those 2 smokes he did were not needed, as you can see. Oh wait, yes, sorry. Yes, they were. I did not see the laser. See, now this is why usually I scout and do everything like ahead of time before I record, because then I can see everything and just commentate a little better. Where's his flare? Ah, okay. He flared on the corner of the sniper, just above the sniper. I was gonna say, like, I don't see his flare because I wanted to show his flare. So this one, you'll see he's going to flare again, I think. No? Okay. Yeah, he did. I was gonna say, because usually you flare just so up to that spot so you can get a tight path, and then you flare again so you get in a nicer spot. But using the slowdown from the cryo bomb, but not really needed. I mean, he could have got away without using that. So just dropping critters, shocking as needed. Just those 2 shocks I showed initially. That was all he really needed. And with battle orders, gets nice little damage, and of course crittering in front just in case the shocks weren't enough. And he gets the kill. Nice timing on the shocks. Usually the long shocks like that, it's about 10, 11 o'clock-ish when you start dropping. So you want to start at like 10 and then drop your shocks as you can, and it will wind up being a little bit more towards 11. And you'll probably use the building delay in some of these cases to like warrant the shock a little bit. You know, just so the timing's a little better. So he gapped his smokes trying to sort of like get away with not smoking as much, but it ruined his life, as you guys could see. Not very good flare placement. I guess sometimes the easy bases really get you. So shocking the mortars is always a must on this. The flamethrower was 2, of course, and this one, like the shock launcher, flamethrower to rocket combo. So 3 shocks. These ones are out of range. Sometimes you will get rocket launchers here. Those are out of range, those mortars. So this isn't the hardest base, but it's pretty much the standard version of distortion. It's sort of like the normal one that you see. If you've got a harder version than this, which sometimes you'll get rockets here and here, where that machine gun is. But this is the standard version. I have showed this so many times on my own channel. Pretty standard hit, really. It's not a hard walk. It's not a hard shock. It's very low GBE cost. You can do that unboosted even. Not really that hard. I think I have that on my Foxtrot series, I think, unboosted. I'd be surprised if I didn't. So Tapir, I've already showed this hit. I was gonna say that base looked familiar. So we're on the last replay, guys. So we are on Dredge. Now Dredge is wow, this is actually a hard Dredge. Okay. Rock on. So the path that he should be taking, so you'll have to smoke the beach. He'll probably flare in the corner of these 3 things here, just in front of them. And then he'll probably flare in the back, shocking this. And probably this. And then dropping like critter boxes to distract, I'm guessing. So we'll see if I'm right. He might shock this stuff instead, and then critter to distract that and this. Just because this wouldn't be distracted by critters. Okay. He's going for a different approach. That's a bit of a... I'm guessing maybe he wanted to save some GBE. Going up here. Just farming a bit as well at the same time. Not very conventional. I have seen this sort of strategy being used more and more often lately. I've seen it used a lot more since I posted that video on my channel, the dredge with Hookah, where I did this. I went up, farmed some cells, and then basically went up and destroyed the rockets and so forth. I've seen this sort of strat done a lot more since then, but sort of a different approach where you go and use AZ, so rather than sort of the clear method like I did. I'm guessing I'm not the one. Whoa, I 4 times that. That was my bad. Well, I think we'll go back and watch that. Just because I missed that aspect of the attack. But yeah, I don't think I pioneered the strategy, but I think maybe I might have inspired the idea. I don't know. I don't want to claim credit for it, but I feel like this was something that you never seen before. It was always the corner of the sniper towers to get up there, and now I've been seeing this a lot more. And I'm just wondering where this came from, whether like that attack I had on the forums like helped the idea of it, or whether it was just something that sort of like was being done before but it was never really shown, and then the timing was just a bit convenient. Because to be fair, it could be that. I mean, I might have had nothing to do with the idea of like farming the cells and going up here instead. That might have just been like, that might just be like a bit of a coincidence. Probably is a coincidence. But it's a fun idea anyway. So the slowdown. So shocking that, and the ones below. Okay, so he's just gonna shock everything, why not? If you have the GBE, why not, right? And that's where farming cells will get you. Wow, he almost died. Gone a bit silent. I did not notice what hurt him. Unless that happened on his walk, like maybe a bit of a peek. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the attack. The attacks. I know I was sort of doing this on the fly. I thought trying to guess what their strategies were going to be would be kind of a cool twist on the video, because I like to make my content a bit different. I don't like to post the same stuff every week. Like, I'm not one of these YouTubers, and I'm not trying to take shots at any of these people, because I do respect a fair bit of them. But I don't want to be one of these YouTubers like Zmot or Chicken or Cosmic Duo, where it's sort of like, oh, what's today's video going to be? Oh, it's Imitation Game, or what are we doing today? It's Hammerman Strikes Back, it's Dr. T, you know? It's just daily events, and it's like, there comes a certain point where that becomes a bit stale. And it's sort of like, I've seen it before, I've watched this stuff before, the only thing that's changing is the commentary, and it's like, it just feels a bit stale to me. That's why, like, I don't ever do daily events, because it's like, to me, there's so many people doing that already. I want my content to be a little different. Even if it's not extremely different, but I want to have my own twist on things. And you'll see in my channel, like, I've done so many different things, and I've got series that other people haven't even tried before, like my Foxtrot Unboosted, and before that, I did Bottleneck Unboosted, which doesn't sound very impressive now, but at the time, that was one of the top operations in the 5-man division, which people were doing full boost, and I did unboosted. So, in today's world, that would be like doing, I'm gonna say Stronghold. Yeah, probably about Stronghold. That was sort of like, that's like today's equivalent of Bottleneck. Not in terms of difficulty, but like what the task forces were doing at the time, if that makes sense. So, anyway guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you have, smack the thumbs up button, tell me what you thought in the comments down below. If you guys want to see more videos like this, I can definitely do something. I have a few ideas for stuff that I want to work on next. One of them actually is going to be maybe it's going to maybe be like a beginner's guide to Boom Beach for like new players. I haven't really ever done anything like that, and I think I could definitely do something like that. I'm also very slowly raising a level 20 something account, which has no masterpieces and still has like idols. An idol for like troop damage and some guardians and stuff. So I'm trying to raise that account a little bit so I can post like some Hammerman HQ videos. Cause I think like no one's really posted videos on that since Heroes came out. I think that was something we all did as our accounts were growing. I haven't seen much content done with that with Heroes, so I'm gonna try to do that. And I'm using the one sniper tower approach where like you max everything out before you upgrade to the next HQ level without like touching any defenses. I'm using that style to make it a little bit harder for myself and just to sort of level it out so like it'll be easier for other people to follow. But yeah, there's some stuff I'm working on. I thought I'd let you guys know. If there's anything else specific that you guys would like to see me do, you can always tell me that in the comments down below. I mean, there's always stuff that I'm working on myself for the channel, but like, when there's stuff that I need ideas for, or I want ideas for, that's usually what I'm going to fall back on, if there's something you guys tell me you want to see. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.